Hey guys, this is the first video for Unit 7, Chemical Reactions. This is a very quick unit. We will be getting this done before Christmas break, so keep that in mind as you go through these videos and you go through all the work, because if you wait until after Christmas break, your potential on this in terms of how you're going to do is just going to go right down, because we have like almost 2 weeks off. So you really need to focus on getting this done and wrapped up before Christmas break. Very quick, only about 5 days or so. These first two videos are going to be super quick, about 2 minutes, 3 minutes maybe each. Okay, and then we're going to spend the bulk of our time balancing equations, classifying really quickly, and the predicting stuff is where things can get a little tricky as well. Good news is this is not the only unit we're going to do this. It's more of an introduction and then kind of going on from there. Vocab, there's no vocab quiz, but make sure that you get all your definitions. Again, a lot of stuff is probably straightforward and kind of review for you. So the first thing, this is our first video, 7.1, Intro to Reactions. So symbols. From here on out, when we write reactions, you guys have got to know the symbols and what they mean. You've probably seen some of these already, but we haven't talked about them directly, and that's what we're going to do right here. Best thing you do is make flashcards, or if you don't want to do those, I do have a graphic organizer that I can give to you in person. Just ask me for it, and I'll make copies, and then so you guys can kind of go through and have all the different symbols and their meanings. So you can ask me for that, and I'll give it to you. First one, S or CR. You really won't see CR. S is what you'll see, guys. It just means you have a solid state of matter. CR would just mean crystal. L is for liquid. G is for gas. AQ is aqueous solution, okay? And that is a review term for us. Back in Unit 1, way back, means that something is dissolved in water. So that's what we call solute, which is like a salt or something that is dissolved in water. We have a whole unit dealing with solutions later on, so we'll get into that more in detail. Right now, just know what AQ means. The down arrow means you have a solid precipitate that has formed. Now, that is a term that you guys need to make sure you know. It is a review term. Again, back in Unit 1, when we talked about the signs of a chemical reaction, a precipitate just means that a solid has formed. So it's one that you don't have at the beginning of the reaction, but it forms after the reaction. All right, solid precipitate product forms. Okay, and then the up arrow just means a gas product forms. How can you tell if you have a gas form? Bubbles. All right, that's the big thing. Solid means if you have two liquids, or two solutions that are clear, you'll see like a solid. It'll be kind of murky looking. Something would form. All right, now that's in terms of your symbols for reactants and products. Over here, now we're going to talk about reaction conditions, and these are different ones you're going to see. That arrow's the big one. It means produces or yields. Okay, those are terms in a word problem that you will see. This and this react together to produce, or this and this react together to yield. That just means an arrow means a chemical reaction has taken place. And then it kind of goes from there. So then the next one is a double arrow. Now there's a couple different ways. You could see it like this. You could see it like this, okay? It just means it's a reversible reaction. And that term, guys, RXN, I'm going to jot it down up here. RXN just is my abbreviation for reaction. Okay. Next one, again, these are just modifications of all the arrows. That's a delta sign, a triangle. If you see the triangle, if you see the word heat, guys, it just means reactants are heated to get them going. All right. If you see something like this, where you have a number on the top, okay, with a pressure unit, KPA, when we do gas laws, we'll talk about the pressure units. You won't see them much now, so don't stress over them. It just means that that's a pressure at which the reaction takes place. Okay. If you have a temperature, same idea. It's the temperature where a reaction takes place. And then If you see an arrow with some element on it, it just means that you have a catalyst. When we do reaction rates, we'll talk more about catalysts. And then this last one. Okay, if you see this thing called the symbol for an electron on the bottom, it means you have electrolysis, where something is decomposing through the use of electricity. Okay, so just a couple other things. Chemical equations, they represent this. Represents symbols and formulas of the reactants and products. So we have an example here where we have one reactant plus another reactant. Yields, remember, it could be yields, it could be forms, it could be produces, several different things. Then you get your products over there on the right. So make sure you know that reactants are on the left, products are on the right. When we write a reaction or an equation, they represent the known facts. They show all the reactants and products, and they must be included. They contain correct formulas. So if you think naming is going away, absolutely not. All right, this is why we spent so much time practicing, and some of us need to go back and re-practice, we will find out, because if we don't know how to write the correct formula, balancing is going to be a nightmare. If you have the correct stuff, balancing is a piece of cake. But if you can't write the formula correctly, then it's going to be a monster. Coefficients, they are the numbers that are in front of the compounds or elements. They represent the number of moles. Okay, so moles are coming back. Here's the thing. This unit is kind of the beginning of what we're getting into in our next unit after break, which is stoichiometry. We're going to basically, in stoichiometry, put units 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all together in one unit. So that's where we're headed. So go back and refresh what moles are and things. Subscripts. These never, ever change when balancing. So when in doubt, never change your subscripts. There'll be one instance where I show them to you in a later video, but for now, do not worry about it. And then symbols, make sure you use your symbols and memorize those. So that's kind of the brief intro to reactions. That's all we got here for this video. I will see you guys later.